Greetings all, this is Hairy Nick back on FFG's X-Wing page because it's high time we spoke about this app. Yep, X-Wing 2.0 came out nearly 2 weeks ago now. We're a couple days off that anyway. And on the day it came out, or the day after it came out, we did get the app, but unfortunately at that point it was unusable. There were a lot of formatting issues with it. Certain upgrades that were meant to grant other upgrades weren't working. It was working at varying degrees of success on different platforms. It was just a bit of a mess. So when that came out, I actually made a video on a couple of other options, which I'll put an annotation for up here so you guys can see that. But now it's at a stage where it works quite well. And look, I do want to encourage everyone who looks at playing X-Wing to look at all the different options. If you want to have a go at yet another squad builder launch bay next, I absolutely recommend them. In fact, to be frank, I recommend yet another squad builder over the official app. But what we have to remember is not everyone has all that information on hand. There are still plenty of people going into their shops, playing in X-Wing for the first time, and this is going to be the first thing they come across because, well, they don't know any better. And I'm at least satisfied that this is a good squad building tool. If it's between this or first edition where we didn't have any squad building tools, we had to work out the points, I think this is very good. It does give squad building a bit more accessibility, which helps new players sort of experiment and play around with upgrades and that kind of stuff. So it is absolutely a good thing, regardless of the fact I don't believe it's the best squad builder out there. So let's have a look at it. First of all, before we go into building a squad, let's have a look at a couple of different features which you don't see on other builders, which is quite cool. We have a card database, which is a nice little search engine which searches through all the upgrade and pilot cards. And this is a pretty interesting tool. For example, we can take a look for Luke. We can find Han, and we see all the various cards with the name Han in them. In fact, if we look up Han, anything with Han anywhere in the text, Thane Kyrell, Major Vermeil, I'm sure there must be the word Han, maybe, wow, okay, there's lots of things with Han in it. But you get the general idea. You got some handy tools to filter your results, that kind of thing. So if, for example, there's an X-Wing pilot that reduces the amount of green dice. Reduce the amount of green dice, if I can spell it correctly for a start. Or is it rolls one fewer green dice? Unfortunately, you have to get the wording dead on. No, one less green dice. So this is the stage where I go to the word Gentiles card when defender rolls one fewer defense dice. Okay, so one fewer defense. And you can see the pitfalls of this. I'm trying to remember ability. I slightly get the wording wrong and I can't quite find the card, which is frustrating because I feel like a search engine should be a little bit more broad than that. But nevertheless, it does literally find any text on the card, which is pretty useful. Also, one more thing, which I'm so happy as a content creator. I don't know if this is an issue for you guys, but because of this app, we now have high-res images of every single card because they've been entered on here. That's so useful for me because I need high-res images to show off the lists and everything. So that's a nice little perk of this. I kind of wish FFG just put them out at some other stage, but whatever. Let's actually have a look at one more thing. We have a nice little diagram here which tells the app what is in your collection, so it knows if you build a list. If you're building with cards you don't have, it will alert you of this. Now this is not unique to this yet, another squad builder does this as well, but it's nicely laid out. I actually prefer the way that this app does it over yet another squad builder. Let's actually go and take a look what happens when you go to build a squad. First of all, this is another good advantage of using this app. You get a nice list of all the different formats. Extended being pretty much what 99% of us are playing right now. That's everything you get in the conversion kits and wave whatever. Second edition is just things you get in wave 1. So Fang Fighter, Fire Spray, Lando's Falcon, TIE Advanced, TIE Fighter, X-Wing, Y-Wing, and Saul Guerrera's U-Wing and X-Wings. Cool. If we have a look at variants, these are a few formats that FFG have put into this. No Glory being only generic pilots, Battle of Yavin being X-Wings, Y-Wings, TIE Fighters, and TIE Advanced. And playing favorites is a select few pilots, probably like high tier meta stuff. I haven't gone through all these myself. But what you can do here is you can select your own format. Indeed, if you go to custom just here, you have the option of making your own format, which is pretty cool. We go to make a custom format, and simply, if you want to allow things or disallow things, you highlight them or you don't highlight them, and then you've made your own format. Now, I really do wish that there were some more options with this. First of all, there is no way to change the squad point total of the squads allowed in this format. What I'm able to do here is edit what pilots are legal, what upgrade cards are legal. Let's say Nick's awesome format. And for some reason, I'm only going to allow B-Wings. I go to do that, and that's it. And that's just it. You can't really do much from that point on. It's going to be interesting because then we can think about changing the different factions and whatever. If you want to have purely canonical, like Third Era, Clone Wars, Galactic Civil War, all that kind of stuff, you can do that within this app. I just wish there were a few more options here. I feel like this is a great place to start. But specifically points, I think that'd be a great thing. I know a lot of people like to do like one ship builds at like 66, 70 points, that kind of stuff. And then with this app, you'd be able to have like a ban list built into it. Let's continue on, get back out of these formats and just take a look at building a regular list. Let's go extended because everyone loves extended. Let's go to Scum because they're the best faction ever. Boopity boo. Oh, it's actually got what I had on the screen before, which is kind of handy actually. So if you didn't save the squad from the previous time you had the app open, you get to use it right here. Pretty handy. I'm just going through the different pilots and having a look at what they can do. So this is pretty much how you do it. Similar to other apps, you can mouse over things and then read them. IG88A. That, for example, is all the stats. The one stat we don't see is the dial, which we do see on other apps like Launch Bay Next and yet another squad builder. So that's a bit disappointing. I would like to see that. Also, if we add them in, I don't know why it goes A, B, D, C like that, but whatever. We don't actually get to mouse over these upgrades and see what's in them. What you have to do is click into them, and then it loads up a separate page. Now, this is not the end of the world, but I'm a fan of drop-down menus. So add the HLC, for example, where you just click on the thing and all the options come up here. And as you mouse over them, you get to see all the options. That's what you get in yet another squad builder, and that's one of the reasons I like the app so much. We do it here. We can't actually read what Heavy Laser Cannon does. We do have the points value, which is nice, but you can't see what it physically is unless you click onto it and go to the separate page, which is a little bit frustrating. I will say, though, I do like the fact that we get the art. It makes these a little bit easier to spot as you're looking through the list. You click on the card. Whoop. Let's see. I shouldn't have clicked there. We go to the card. We actually see the physical card, which is good. So when you're comparing them to your collection, you need to find the card. It makes it a bit easier to find. That's a nice little feature. I do like that. Plus, just as an aside, for those of you who want good art to use on various projects, whatever, the art used here is actually relatively high res. If I actually use this here, we get a nice shot of all the different pilots and upgrades, which is a nice little perk. Again, for me as a content creator, I need access to this kind of stuff to use in thumbnails and stuff. So that's pretty handy as well. That's pretty straightforward. Let's actually go back to my saved squad so we can see what something looks like. So I go here, I have some bounty buddies, some dual sprays. This is the first list I flew with in my first tournament. And we can see here everything's saved quite nicely. I do like the way it's all laid out. I wish there was a bit more information. But it is pretty clear. Also, with the app, you do get this advantage as well. It doesn't output XWS format, which I really, really wish it did. I really hope that FFG do decide to do that one day. In case you guys aren't aware, it's like a block of text, sort of code that you can load into any one of these squad builders and they understand it. It's really good for a lot of tournament software because it can recognize that nice and easily. As far as I'm aware, I don't know that this integrates with any tournament software. I might be wrong there. I may have spoken too soon, but that's my understanding so far. We do, however, the option of doing this. We can share it to various social media platforms. I'm not particularly a fan of doing this. I think the output from yet another squad builder, the text-based way they do that, is in general a bit better. But what we can do is we can make a PDF. And if we do this and it loads up, let's just open up the file. And we'll see it here on the screen when it loads. There we go. And you just get a nice loadout. I do like the way that it's just all on one page. It's nice and neat. You get all the points and everything. And you also get a QR code. So if you scan it with your phone, it'll take you to the app builder and actually show you what it looks like, which is pretty cool. I like this. I don't love it. I would prefer XWS, but nonetheless, this is a pretty easy way of sharing it. I'm seeing a lot of this just sort of cropped as a JPEG being posted on various forums. People seem to like that, and the fact that you can just get your phone out and scan your computer screen and then load it up within the app seems pretty good. I think FFG have all the right ideas here. I just feel like things could be implemented a bit better. I think information could be displayed on the screen a bit more. I love the fact that there's a card browser. I love the fact that there are ways to build different custom formats. I just think with both of those, they need to go a bit further and just leverage these advantages they have over other app builders. Nonetheless, even if this is not the best squad builder out there, I'm glad it exists because it's really useful to have this as the face of X-Wing. It really helps out new players that pick up their core set, they see the link to the app on it, they boot it up and they can immediately start building lists and the ideas start flowing straight away. So this is a fantastic thing. It just would have been nice if it didn't come out so broken on the release of 2nd edition. That's the last thing I'll say on it. Anyway, guys, in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all my patrons. You guys do a lot to help the channel moving forward, so thank you so much for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Reddit, and consider supporting the Patreon. I will catch you guys in the next video.